Hello, this is CJ, and welcome to my Sailor Moon Crystal episode 29 Ripples review. I'm really sick. I'm recovering from having just like this awful weekend of allergies, so if I cough during this review, that's why. But you know what? I'm doing this review anyway. I'm doing it for you guys. Yes! Let's get to it. First off, the good. The music was on point this episode. Oh my goodness. Kaori Knight, when she was looking into that pool of water and predicting the talismans and what they had to do with the plot and all that, the music in the background of those scenes was so on point. It was like this like operatic sort of like rock kind of music, and I was like, whoa! I haven't been as invested in something Sailor Moon in, oh my gosh, it's such a long time. And music really helped push forward those scenes, really helped make sure the viewer understands that this is really important. This is not something that you should just skip over. Another good thing is that there were only 2 transformation sequences this time around. I'm actually of the opinion that transformation sequences really don't bother me, and really, in my opinion, don't weigh down the show as much as a lot of people think. In my opinion, I'd rather have transformation sequences that are beautiful, that are awesome, like this season has, than have an entire episode full of just like really poor animation. The transformation sequences, in essence, help the animators out a little bit. That being said, though, there was only 2 of them, and I'm really glad that Venus, Mercury, and Sailor Moon didn't have their own transformation sequences, because it would have just interrupted that fight really badly. I mean, it just would have killed the pace of the entire episode, so I'm really glad that didn't happen. Speaking of the fight with, I believe her name, I think I got it right this time. I think it's Eudial. I think that's what Kaori Knight said. I could be wrong. Please butcher me in the comments if I am wrong. Thank goodness the Witches 5 are being killed off. It's sad that we can't have more screen time with these girls, especially considering what powerhouses they were in the original anime. They were really memorable characters. But to be frank, if they're going with a very close manga adaptation for this anime, we don't have a lot of time to spend on minor characters. I'd rather we have more time with Sailor Soldiers, with characters who really matter, and kind of push the Wishes 5 to the side. Give them the time that they had in the manga, but other than that, let's not spend a lot of time on them. Of course, right now you're probably thinking, well, CJ's probably really burnt out by what Toei Animation did with the Generals in the first season of Sailor Moon Crystal, and you're totally right. I wasn't really that big of a fan of those guys in the first place, but I was still kind of curious to see where they were going to go with those characters, and when they were killed off in such a just really poor, like, badly written manner, I just was like, really? Just wasting my time. Just wasting my time. But, you know what? I'm glad we're not getting it this time around. I'm glad the Witches 5 are getting killed off like they were in the manga. Let's continue on with the bad. Now again, this episode was very good, much like the first 2 episodes, but there are a few things here and there that I would like to point out. First off, profile shots are not looking that good. If you don't know what I mean by profile, this is what I mean. It's like when you look at a character from the side of their face. Yeah, Toei seems to be messing that up a little bit too much. Altogether, the animation isn't awful. It has dipped a little bit in quality in this episode. In particular, there were a few shots that looked a little bit off, but they were shots that, in the end, really were minor moments. They weren't serious, major moments, so I'm okay. I'll deal. If we continue to have an amazing story adaptation and we continue to have amazing animation sequences, well, I should probably clarify, like decent animation sequences, I'm gonna be okay. Really, the most amazing stuff is in the transformations and attacks themselves. One particular shot that I want to point out is this one of Sailor Mars toward the end of the episode. This is the face I have when I read, like, really annoying YouTube comments. Like, it's that face, if you're curious. I just want to clarify something else, too. Most anime these days have budget issues. They have animation issues. Sailor Moon Crystal is not an exception to this. That being said, Sailor Moon Crystal has finally reached the level of other average anime, where every once in a while there's going to be a goof up here and there. So when people talk about, like, the animation being improved on the Blu-ray, I'm actually okay with it now, because here's the thing. This third season of Sailor Moon is a watchable show to begin with. The animation is fine to begin with. Of course, improvements are just going to make it better, so I'm actually really, really excited to check out what the Blu-ray adds. But at the same time, it's not offensive to me because the original show is fine by itself. You know, I'm not offended that, you know, Toei is quote-unquote saving the real show for later, because the original show was perfectly fine. And honestly, every single anime should be like this. You know, Sailor Moon, Crystal, seasons 1 and 2 had no excuse for the original format in which that show was shown. And from what I understand, and I touched up a little bit on this on another video, which I will link in an annotation here, the Blu-rays really weren't that much better anyway. Just a real nitpick here, when Eudial is performing that ritual with all of the Mugen Academy students, Ray shouts out something like, "Not so fast!" or "Stop, you fiend!" You know. But here's the thing. She says this before she transforms into Sailor Mars. So again, let's imagine this from Eudial's perspective. So she hears, like, "Stop, you!" And then, okay, where are they? They're not showing up. Oh, there they are. You know, that's a line to deliver as you come into the scene. It's not a line that you deliver as you're preparing to walk onto the scene. That was a little bit of a goof up there in the, I don't know, the script or the editing or whatever. So, really, again, not that big of a deal, but it's something I wanted to point out because it did bug me a little bit. Also, whoever is doing the subtitles for the Crunchyroll subversion of this episode is doing a really, really bad job. I noted the "Who the hell are you" line from last time, and, you know, I thought that was bad, but we had 3 whole new goofs this time around, so I'm just going to read them really quick here. Master will be delight if I obtain this power. Is this an inspiration for us to collect them? Though he was expelled from academic world long ago. I mean, I don't know if this is a third-party company working on this, or if this is Crunchyroll, but step up your game. Come on, that's pretty weak. You know, that's some pretty poor quality there on the subtitles. That's something I expect from, like, a fan group that's doing it for free and out of the love of their hearts, not from, like, a company. So, Crunchyroll, whoever that is, please get on that. Overall, I give this episode a solid B. It was still a really good episode, but the animation quality dipped a little bit, and there weren't as many adaptations this time around as there were in the past 2 episodes. Not to mention, they had to cram almost an entire chapter into one episode, so I wasn't really excited about that. That being said, though, we're probably going to get the next 3 chapters as sort of episode to chapter, 1-to-1 kind of deal in the future. You know, again, that's something I'm not too keen about because, you know, either, when it comes down to it, either you have to rush content, you have to get really, really fast through content, or that content has to be, like, stretched out because it's so slow. We'll see where Toei goes from here. So far, though, it's been an amazing experience, and I can't wait to see more. So until next time, this is CJ, signing off.